Hey guys, Shizabar here. Today, it's a quick video. It's in regards to like if you have like a handheld or like a budget or like a low device, and you want to use different kinds of image scaling for the best, results. There's a new application which is from Looseless Scaling that's available on Steam. It is $6 to $7 depending where you are, and it gives you like few different options for in regards to upscale itself. So why will we be using upscaling? The reason is like you want to run like a game, and it's running like you're trying to run that at 1080p low settings, and it's running at 20-30 fps, right? So the main objective is like to try to get close to at least 60 fps so game runs smoother, it doesn't look laggy, and it's playable, right? So at least 60 is the sort of like even 30, but usually with the gaming it's usually 60. So how to use this application? The first thing is you need to set up the default settings, so you can play around with this, and then you can try to set up different game profiles. You can try that later on. Anyways, so the first thing is we're getting in the scaling mode, we're gonna set it auto, and then we're gonna set it to full screen. Okay, in scaling you have sort of different options. You have the upscaling option from AMD itself, the frame gen. NVIDIA image scaling, that is available on all cards. Even if it's like an older gen, you can still use the image scaling to upscale the resolution. So, and then you can play around with sharpness similarly. So it's not DLSS, but it's like a one gen behind what was available before DLSS on a NVIDIA cards. And the main upscaling application, which is like the performance is like LS1, right? So you can try between all three, and that's a good thing about this one, is because you're not restricted to one sort of scaling. In this you can try different things, and you can try for different games, and whatever works best for that game or whatever best works for your hardware. Okay, so in this one we're going to use LS1, right? And then the frame gen, we're going to go to this. In the frame gen you see like two options. 1.1, that's the old one, don't use it. So that you go to 2.3, right? We're gonna go to this. In the mode itself here, this is sort of like upscaling how much you want. So I would advise using between 2x and 3x instead of 4x, because most likely you're doing like this on a lower end hardware. So to do, obviously if you want to get the higher quality results on upscaling, you need to run the native video or process it at a higher resolution, right? So in this instance I would say like try between 2 and 3, whatever works best for you. Since I'm using a handheld, I have enabled the performance thing. Then you don't need to do anything, or another option you need to look at the FPS. Enable that. What will happen is at the top it will show you the FPS, whatever FPS you're getting, because I've seen sometimes the native system monitor info or hardware monitor info, it doesn't like properly show the FPS. So you can enable that from the in-game itself, so you can like actually see what FPS you're getting. There are different options for capture and the proper GPU. That's mainly if you have like a desktop itself, or like even in like a laptop which has a dedicated GPU, and then you want to switch between into internal one or external one, dedicated one too. So you can try to check whatever's like whichever you want to select. Output, well, I'm not going to worry about that because it said it's a handheld, everything is in this one, so I don't need to play with any of the settings. Anyways, so we gonna go to this. So these are the default settings for almost all the games you're gonna run through. Do make sure it will run only in borderless or windowed mode. So sometimes I've seen like a lot of people, they try to just open the game or like click on the scaling and just open the game and it doesn't do anything. The reason is you need to make sure the game itself running natively as the windowed or borderless state. When you do that and you upscale itself, because we're using the full screen, it will run full screen off for you. Another thing though, because we're using upscaling, no sort of upscaling is perfect. You will see sometimes artifacts when you're doing like a fast movement or turning around. So, and sometimes there's like a weird pixels or weird bug that comes with it, almost of like upscalings. Even if you're using DLSS, it's gonna happen with that as well. So don't worry about it. The main thing is we're trying to get like a decent quality with 60 FPS at least, so it looks playable and it looks nice. Anyways, so to do that, you will click on scale. It will switch over to a timer, which gives you 5 seconds, right? Just open any of the game, make sure it's in windowed or borderless mode, and then here the stats will show that it's being upscaled to like full screen and whatever else is running there. You can play around with sharpness. The thing is, with this one, it is a bit of work, but it gives you sort of access to different sort of upscalings, not just one which you are limited to, like let's say from your graphics card itself, or if it has like the newer games, they do come with FSR, but not all of the games are getting that, right? So with this one, you can try with almost any game. That's one. And it is more of like you need to find whatever works best for you. There isn't like a click automated way, just like you click and it will optimize all the games for you. It's not gonna do that. But the best thing is because it's available on Steam, you will be paying $6 or $7. You can, and I think with Steam you can play for 2 hours for free. If you do not like it, you can just return the product, you get the refund. So it's 2 to 3 hours is more than enough for test at least a few games, just to check, compare, does it even work for you. If it doesn't, you can refund it. As I said earlier, because when you're using upscaling, just be a bit mindful that it is being upscaled from a low resolution to high resolution, so it might not look perfect, but because for handhelds or like lower end device, it is worth it. I would advise that. I will create like a longer video later on with like different games, try to do like if I'm running the AMD FSR or like native upscaling on that and comparing this how the graphics look or what sort of like performance I'm getting. I'll do that, but it's like a long project, so I'll do that later on. And that's it for today. If you have any questions, do let me know. Take care guys, have a good day. Bye.